There is something happening to your life that doesn't feel dramatic enough to take seriously. It doesn't arrive as a crisis. There's no single moment you can point to. It just quietly accumulates, day by day, scroll by scroll, until one day you look up and realize that a significant amount of time has passed and very little has changed. And the strange part is that you were there for all of it. You just weren't quite present. How much of your life is actually yours right now? Not the hours you spend working or sleeping, the hours in between, the moments when you could be thinking, creating, connecting, building something, feeling something real. How many of those hours are going into a screen? Most people, if they looked honestly at the answer, would find it uncomfortable. Not because they're lazy or undisciplined, but because a very sophisticated system has been designed, with enormous resources and expertise, to ensure that those hours go there. Social media companies are not in the business of connecting people. They are in the business of capturing attention and selling it. Every design decision, every feature, every update exists to serve that single goal. The infinite scroll removes the natural stopping point. The unpredictable reward of new content keeps the brain in a constant state of seeking. The notification arrives precisely when your attention was drifting. None of this is incidental. It is the product of decades of behavioral research applied to one objective: keep you there longer. The dopamine loop this creates is not meaningfully different from the one that drives gambling or substance use. Neuroimaging shows the same brain regions activating, the same craving patterns, the same erosion of the capacity to choose freely. The platforms are, in a clinical sense, addiction machines. And you are using one, probably several, every single day. This is not a moral failing. It is an asymmetric fight. You, with your willpower and good intentions, against some of the most sophisticated persuasion technology ever built. The fact that it's hard to stop is not weakness. It is the expected outcome. Before we go further, there is something that needs to be said clearly. What you see on social media is not reality. It is a performance of reality. It is the most flattering angle, the most exciting moment, the most carefully worded version of a life that, behind the screen, contains the same mess, confusion, loneliness, and doubt as yours. The person posting the perfect morning routine is not always living it. The relationship that looks effortless has its own weight. The business that looks like overnight success has years of failure behind it that never made it to the feed. And then there are the people who don't post at all, the ones building quietly, loving deeply, creating consistently, living fully, and sharing none of it. They exist in enormous numbers. You just never see them because absence doesn't show up in a feed. What social media shows you is a carefully curated slice of human experience, selected for its ability to provoke a reaction. It is not a window into how people actually live. It is a highlight reel mistaken for reality. And when you compare your inner life, your doubts, your ordinary days, your unfinished work, to that highlight reel, you will lose that comparison every single time. Not because you are less, but because you are comparing real to performed. The attention span research is striking. In 2004, the average time a person could hold focus on a screen was around 2.5 minutes. By 2020, it had dropped to 47 seconds. One generation. Nearly gone. But attention span is only the surface. What's really being eroded is the capacity for depth, for sustained thought, for the kind of slow, difficult, rewarding engagement that produces anything worth having. The ability to read something long and stay with it, to sit with a problem until it yields, to be in a conversation without part of you somewhere else. The prefrontal cortex governs all of this: planning, judgment, impulse control, the ability to choose the hard thing over the easy one. It is also the part of the brain most weakened by chronic overstimulation. Every hour in the feed is quietly making it harder to do the things that actually matter to you. This is not abstract. This is your goals, your relationships, your ability to build anything that requires more than a few seconds of attention, being slowly dismantled in the background while you scroll. What it looks like in a life, not in clinical terms, in actual daily life. The book you've been meaning to read for a year, the project that exists only as a note on your phone, the conversation you were half present for, the morning that disappeared before you'd properly woken up, the foggy, slow feeling that has become so normal you no longer recognize it as unusual, the irritability without a clear cause, the restlessness, the sense of waiting for something you can't name, the feeling of being drained without having done anything, emptied out, as if the world got a little smaller, a little darker, and you're not sure exactly when that started or why. And then the comparison. The endless, invisible comparison. Other people's performances running on a loop while you sit with your ordinary life, your ordinary face, your ordinary Tuesday. The brain registers it simply. They are more. I am less. And over time, that registration reshapes what you believe is possible for you. The ambitions quietly shrink. The dreams start to feel embarrassing. And you tell yourself you've grown up, become realistic, learned how things actually work. What you've actually learned is to want less, and to call it wisdom. There is one more thing social media does that rarely gets named directly. It makes it very easy to never be alone with yourself. Every moment of potential quiet, every gap between activities, every uncomfortable feeling that begins to surface, the phone is there. The feeling disappears. And you never have to find out what it was trying to tell you. The inner work we've been doing in this series, examining beliefs, questioning identity, meeting the parts of you that are afraid, all of it requires the willingness to sit with discomfort rather than escape it. Social media is the escape hatch. And as long as it's always there, always available, always frictionless, the escape will keep happening. Every reach for the phone in a moment of discomfort is a vote to stay the same. A tiny vote. But they accumulate. And the person you're becoming is built from exactly those small, mostly unnoticed choices. Delete the social media apps from your phone for 7 days. Not your accounts. The apps, your profile, your followers, your content, stay completely intact. You can reinstall everything after 7 days, and nothing will have changed, except you will know what your life feels like without it. The first 2 days are genuinely uncomfortable. The habit is so ingrained that the absence feels wrong, creates a low anxiety, an itch you can't scratch. If you stop at 2 days, you only experience that part. You don't get to the other side. By day 4, something begins to shift. The reaching stops being automatic. The quiet starts to feel different, less like something missing, more like something returned. By day 7, most people notice things they hadn't expected. Clearer thinking, more energy, tasks that had been sitting untouched for weeks suddenly getting done, more presence in ordinary moments, a little more of themselves back. Not a transformation, a direction, and a choice made from a clearer place about how you actually want to live. Homework. 1. Go to your phone settings and look at your weekly screen time. Just look at the number. 2. For the next 3 days, every time you reach for your phone, pause for 2 seconds first. Notice what you were feeling in the moment before. Boredom, anxiety, habit, avoidance. Just notice. 3. Keep the phone out of your bedroom for 1 week. Charge it somewhere else. See what the first and last moments of your day feel like without it. 4. Delete the apps for 7 days. Just the apps, not the accounts. Everything stays. Close the door and see what's on the other side. The life you want is not complicated to describe. You know what it looks like. You've known for a long time. What stands between you and it is not a lack of information, talent, or opportunity. It is attention. Where your attention goes, your life goes. And right now, a very large portion of your attention is going somewhere designed to capture it and return nothing meaningful in exchange. The people living the lives you admire are not necessarily more talented, more disciplined, or more fortunate than you. Many of them simply decided at some point to stop giving their hours to a feed and start giving them to something real, something that was actually theirs. The dreams you have are not naive. The potential you feel is not imaginary. But they will not survive indefinitely on good intentions alone. They need time. They need focus. They need the hours that are currently going somewhere else. You know this already. You've known it for a while. The only question is when you decide to act on it. I'll see you next Monday.